Right, chums, brace yourselves. Because what I am about to tell you is, quite frankly, one of the most remarkable things I've heard in a very long time. His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, Prince William, future king of this country, was kept completely in the dark, not consulted, not briefed, not even given so much as a courtesy nod. And all of it centers around that younger brother of his, the one who left, the one who, shall we say, ruffled more than a few feathers on his way out the door. But here is where it gets really interesting, chums, because according to my source, and this is an excellent source, all of that is now about to change. Dramatically. So settle in, because we need to talk about this properly. Lovely to see you as always. Now, before we get into all of this, and we are absolutely going to get into all of this, can I just talk to you for one moment about something completely different? Because I was reminded of it the other day, and I genuinely couldn't stop thinking about it. Paper dolls. Do you remember paper dolls? I know. Bear with me, because someone mentioned them, and I thought, goodness, when did those disappear? You'd have a little figure, wouldn't you? And then all the outfits with the little tabs that folded over. You'd spend hours on them, carefully cutting around the edges, your tongue poking out with concentration. And of course your mom will be hovering nearby going, be careful with those scissors. Don't cut too close. Every single time. Like you were about to perform surgery, rather than dress a paper princess in a paper ball gown. And it got me thinking about all the things that were genuinely wonderful that we just quietly let go of, not because they were bad, not because children didn't love them, just because something shinier came along and nudged them aside. And isn't that a shame, really? Because there was something about sitting down, being patient, being careful, using your hands and your imagination. That was genuinely good for you. And now everything is a screen, isn't it? Everything is instant. I'm not saying screens are bad. I'm talking to you on one, after all. But there is something lost, I think. Something we understood instinctively back, then that we perhaps forgotten. Anyway, I digress. And you know me, I always find my way back. Now, let's talk about the British government, shall we? Because honestly, chums, you couldn't write it. You really couldn't. The current Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper. Now I've mentioned her before, and I'll say again what I've always said. Here's a woman who was given one of the most important jobs in British politics. Keeping this country safe, dealing with borders, addressing the very real concerns of the British people. And what happened? The boats kept coming. The problems kept mounting. And rather than face any meaningful consequences for that failure, she was essentially given a new role, a new platform, and a rather lovely trip around the world as part of His Majesty's political entourage. Now think about that for a moment. Think about the standard we once had. Think about the caliber of individual who would stand at the side of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, a woman of extraordinary wisdom, extraordinary grace, extraordinary instinct for reading a room, a nation, a moment in history. And then look at where we are today. I'm not trying to be unkind. I'm being honest. And I think most of you watching feel exactly the same way, don't you? But here's the thing. Here is the thing that really matters today. And it connects directly to Yvette Cooper, to the current government, and to the extraordinary situation that is now unfolding within the royal family itself. Cast your minds back a few weeks. Because a few weeks ago, the former royal known as Prince Harry made a rather surprising appearance in Ukraine. Now, Ukraine is obviously a place of enormous significance right now, a country fighting for its survival, a people showing extraordinary courage. So when a high-profile figure turns up there unannounced, with what appear to be a planned media presence and an ITV crew in tow, you have to ask a few questions, don't you? First question, who authorized this? Because here is what people perhaps don't fully appreciate. You cannot simply decide, as a private individual, even a very famous one, to travel to an active conflict zone like Ukraine without a degree of government sign-off. The Home Office is involved. Security considerations have to be made. And critically, as a matter of royal protocol and basic courtesy, His Majesty the King needs to be informed. Doesn't necessarily need to personally approve it, but he has to be told. That much is non-negotiable. And so Yvette Cooper, yes, her again, was instrumental in signing off on this visit. Without her clearance, Harry simply could not have gone. Now here's where I have a real problem with all of this. What exactly was the purpose of the visit? Was it official? Was it private? Because if it was private, why was there a television crew? If it was public, in what capacity was he operating? He holds no royal title in an active sense. He serves in no official government role. He is, at this point in time, a celebrity, a well-known face, which, and I say this with all sincerity, does not a diplomatic mission make. I could ring the Home Office tomorrow and say, I'd like to pop over to Ukraine, do a little piece to camera, put it on my channel. Do you think they'd sign that off? Of course not. So, why the preferential treatment? Why the ITV crew? Why the carefully curated rollout? And the timing, chums, the timing. Because this all happened just days before His Majesty, the King, embarked on his incredibly important visit to the United States, a visit that included a deeply significant address to Congress, where Ukraine was front and center of discussions. So you have Harry appearing in Ukraine, generating headlines, creating a media moment, and then days later, the King arrives in America to have serious conversations about exactly that same situation. Do you not find that a little curious? A little too convenient? Because I do. But here is perhaps the most significant part of